Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever said yes to something you really, really didn't want to do just because saying no felt, well, too awkward? Yeah, if you're nodding along, you are definitely not alone. Saying no can be one of the toughest things we do. But honestly, it's also one of the most powerful skills you can learn to get your time, your energy, and just your overall sanity back. This question, which someone posted on Reddit, just hits so hard, doesn't it? It gets right to the very core of this whole thing. So many of us, without even realizing it, are living our lives based on what we think other people want from us. It's this deep-seated feeling. And today, we're going to pull it apart and figure out how to deal with it. This fear of letting people down, that's the people pleaser's dilemma in a nutshell. We say yes to that extra project at work, yes to social plans when we're exhausted, yes to favors that totally drain us. And why? To avoid a little conflict, maybe some disapproval. But the end result is always the same, right? We're the ones left feeling burned out, a little resentful, and super anxious. But here's the good news. There is a better way. It's not this all or nothing game of yes versus no. Our responses actually fall along a whole spectrum of communication styles. And figuring out where you land on that spectrum, that's the very first step to finding a much healthier, happier balance. Let's actually look at it like this. Picture a Venn diagram. On one side, you've got the aggressive style. That's all about my needs. On the complete opposite side, you have the passive style. That's all about their needs. But that sweet spot, that perfect overlap right in the middle, that, my friends, is assertiveness. And that's exactly what we're aiming for. And this table really breaks down the signals we're sending, often without even thinking about it. So a passive person might say things like, maybe, or I guess, while looking down and just bottling up all that anxiety. The aggressive person, they might use blaming language, lean in, point their finger, trying to dominate the conversation. But look at that assertive column. It's a totally different world. You've got direct I statements, good eye contact, and a real awareness of your feelings. It's confident, but it's also respectful. So let's really zero in on that middle ground. Being assertive doesn't mean you're being pushy or a jerk. Not at all. It's a skill. It's about learning how to stand up for yourself and your needs while, and this is key, while also respecting the needs and rights of the other person. And this is the absolute heart of it. Assertiveness is built on a foundation of mutual respect. It's not about winning or just getting what you want, no matter the cost. It's about finding a path where everyone involved feels like they've been heard and their perspective matters. And when you look at these benefits, it becomes so clear why this is a skill worth learning. When you communicate assertively, you're not just saying no more effectively, you're literally boosting your own self-esteem, you're cutting down on stress, and you're building relationships that are stronger and more honest. It is one of the most powerful forms of self-care there is. Okay, so enough with the theory. Let's get practical. Let's move from the what to the how. Here are a few simple but incredibly powerful tools you can start using literally today to start building up that assertiveness muscle. First step in the toolkit, using I statements. And trust me, this is a total game changer. Instead of starting a sentence with an accusation like, you never, which immediately puts the other person on the defensive, you start with, I feel. You're framing the problem around your own experience, and nobody can argue with how you feel. It opens a door for a real conversation instead of slamming it shut with blame. Next up, boundaries. Think of boundaries as the personal rulebook for your life. They aren't walls you build to keep people out. They are guidelines you set to protect your own mental and emotional health. And let's be super clear. Having them isn't selfish. It's absolutely essential. And boundaries aren't just one thing. They pop up everywhere. You can have emotional boundaries, like deciding not to absorb someone else's bad mood. You can have time boundaries, like keeping your weekends just for you. Or work boundaries, like not checking emails after 6 p.m. Every single one is a little statement that says, hey, my well-being matters. All right, this is a moment we've been building up to. You get the why now, so here's the how. We are going to walk through a super simple 4-step script that makes saying no feel clear, calm, and surprisingly effective. It's called the DES script. Super easy to remember. D is for describe. Just state the facts of the situation, no emotion. E is for express. Share how you feel using those I statements we just talked about. S is for specify. Say exactly what you need to happen. And finally, C is for consequences. Explain the positive result that will happen if your request is met. It's a simple roadmap for a respectful no. And just look at the difference this makes in practice. The poor script on the left? It's just an attack. It's only going to cause a fight. But the DESC script on the right? It lays out the facts, expresses a personal feeling, offers a clear solution, and points to a positive outcome for everyone. It actually solves the problem, instead of just making it worse.
Ah, yeah. This is the big one, isn't it? The final boss. Even if you have the perfect script, that wave of guilt can just feel overwhelming. It's the number one thing that keeps us from setting the boundaries we know we need. So how on earth do we get past it?
The trick is to start reframing how you think about it. First, just keep telling yourself, my needs are valid. To build confidence, start small. Say no to low-stakes things first. You don't have to climb Mount Everest on day one. And please, remember this. The people who truly care about you will respect your limits. Healthy relationships are built on that kind of respect. So when you feel that little twinge of guilt, try to see it as a good sign. It doesn't mean you did something wrong. It means you're growing. It means you're breaking old patterns. So, we've covered a lot today, from the different communication styles to a practical script you can use. But none of this matters if you don't put it into action. So I want to leave you with this one simple question to think about. What is one small boundary you will set this week? Just one thing to protect your time, your energy, or your peace of mind. Start there.